According to the investigation by the Taiwanese outlet Mirror Weekly, informed sources revealed that two of the surviving Chinese individuals confessed during the interrogation that none of the four had fishing licenses or boating licenses. Three of them were from Sichuan and one was from Guizhou. None of them were local fishermen from Fujian. On the day of the incident, the boat did not depart from the fishing port, but instead went out to the sea without registration. Additionally, there were no fishing tools commonly used by local fishermen on board. In reality, the so-called 3 no vessels have always been a nightmare for illegal fishermen. Hi everyone, this is Stian, your favorite Polish Taiwan YouTuber. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome to today's show. On February 14th, a speedboat from China having no name or registration number, no vessel license, not even a port of registration, commonly referred to as 3 no vessels in the news, basically a pirate's boat, was found by Taiwanese Coast Guard personnel illegally entering the Taiwanese waters near Kinmen Islands. Such harassment incidents are actually quite common in the waters around Kinmen and Matsu. Therefore, Taiwanese Coast Guard personnel, following their usual enforcement pattern, attempted to inspect this illegal fishing boat. However, they not only refused the inspection request from the Taiwanese Coast Guard, but also attempted to escape. During the escape attempt, the Chinese boat tried to shake off the Coast Guard personnel by making sharp turns, but failed. The illegal Chinese speedboat collided with the Coast Guard ship and capsized. As a result, 2 of the Chinese individuals on the speedboat died from drowning. According to the investigation by the Taiwanese outlet Mirror Weekly, informed sources revealed that 2 of the surviving Chinese individuals confessed during the interrogation that none of the 4 had fishing licenses or boating licenses. 3 of them were from Sichuan and one was from Guizhou. None of them were local fishermen from Fujian. On the day of the incident, the boat did not depart from a fishing port, but instead went out to the sea without registration. Additionally, there were no fishing tools commonly used by local fishermen on board. In reality, the so-called 3 no vessels have always been a nightmare for illegal fishermen, as the fishing nets set up by fishermen are always destroyed by such vessels. 3 no vessels is a name unique to Taiwan. Internationally, those would just be called illegal vessels. These illegal vessels could potentially be pirate ships, smuggling or drug trafficking vessels. Therefore, maritime law enforcement personnel worldwide has to enforce laws rigorously, because it's their duty to do so, right? According to Taiwan's regulations, Article 42 of the Enforcement Rules of the Act governing relationships between the people of the Taiwan area and the mainland area clearly stipulates that the unauthorized entry of Chinese vessels into restricted or prohibited waters of Taiwan is subject to lawful measures such as forced eviction or detention by the competent authority. And if a Chinese vessel refuses to stop or be detained, apart from firing at the vessel, the law permits even to destroy it by the authorities. So Taiwan Coast Guard strictly adhere to the law, and even firing at these vessels is considered an appropriate measure according to the Taiwanese regulations. Illegal vessels that refuse inspection and attempt to escape by evasive maneuvers surely have a higher probability of capsizing or causing accidents at the sea compared to regular vessels. This is similar to a hit and run or fugitive refusing to be inspected by police. During the pursuit, do the police have the right to fire their weapons? Do they have the right to enforce the law? Otherwise, how would they apprehend the criminals? At the same time, officials from Taiwan's Coast Guard administration also indicated that Chinese vessels are known for resorting to various means to evade inspection by Taiwanese authorities, such as using reinforced steel rods or pipes installed alongside the vessel to deter you from approaching for inspection, and even resorting to throwing stones, sticks, and other objects to attack the Coast Guard. These are the risks that the Taiwanese Coast Guard personnel encounter daily. And after the incidents caused by the CCP, Coast Guard personnel are often injured. There have also been incidents where Coast Guard personnel have fallen into the sea during inspections. Additionally, in cases where the weather conditions are unfavorable and only one Coast Guard officer successfully boards an illegal vessel while others cannot do that, it turns into a situation where the Taiwanese Coast Guard is effectively being kidnapped and taken away by the illegal Chinese vessels. vessel, as evidenced by past cases. Normally, even China's own maritime authorities vigorously enforce against the illegal vessels. However, this time the Chinese Communist Party not only failed to condemn the illegal actions of the 3 no vessels, but also allowed the Taiwan Affairs Office, it's an organ of the Chinese government responsible for Taiwan relationships, to arrogantly state that there are no restricted waters in the area between Kinmen and Xiamen. They attempted to exploit this incident, which resulted in casualties, to ignite hatred amongst Chinese people towards Taiwanese, and the Chinese government even allowed extreme rhetoric within China, such as blood for blood, aiming to escalate the incident with illegal boats getting into Taiwan's waters into an international conflict. However, internally in Taiwan, many individuals are still following the CCP's direction by condemning Taiwan's Coast Guard personnel for excessive law enforcement. They are pressuring Taiwan's Coast Guard to admit fault, attempting to deter Taiwanese Coast Guard personnel from enforcing Taiwan's laws within Taiwan's jurisdiction in the future, thus compromising territorial integrity. Consequently, vessels from China, in particular militia and government vessels, could blatantly intrude into Taiwanese restricted waters around Kinmen and Matsu, harassing Taiwanese fishermen and tourists to advance the CCP's so-called grey zone warfare. At the same time, the CCP is also using this incident for cognitive warfare. On February 24th, a line screenshot began circulating widely across various platforms, with content falsely attributing statements to Third Minister of the Ocean Affairs Council, Guan Biling, and former legislator Duan Yikang, which they had never actually said. This conversation was photoshopped on the line screenshot, and the screenshot of conversation involving Guan Biling was full of Chinese terms that the Taiwanese people don't actually use. It was initially spread by 322 accounts on Weibo before spreading it to the X platform, Facebook and Line groups. Taiwan's national security authorities traced the origins and found out that this screenshot was actually taken from a 2017 report by Mirror Weekly, featuring a conversation between then legislator Guan Biling and Duan Yikang. On February 20th, coincidentally, the report released by the United States Congressional Executive Commission on China, USCC, highlighted China's efforts to control global opinions on Taiwan, Hong Kong, and other issues through extensive censorship and social media manipulation. The report specifically points out that the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, is actively creating artificial social consensus to drown out voices critical of the CCP on platforms such as X, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and others. It mobilizes zombie accounts to attack those who disagree, or uses strategies like impersonating public figures. Sometimes those impersonators' accounts are posted as independent commentators, but in fact, they work for the CCP-controlled media to spread China-friendly narrative. The report also mentions that Beijing has invested considerable resources into the development and use of AI and big data analysis technologies to significantly expand the coverage of media monitoring and censorship, as well as enhance the precision of targeting and combating those who oppose them. Additionally, the report points out China's efforts to manipulate foreign audiences, posing a serious threat to the global information sharing space. Meanwhile, the CCP is also providing support and advices for information stabilization to other countries such as Laos, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. In the past, we often heard some people in Taiwan mocking those who warn about Taiwan facing cognitive warfare from the CCP, or ignoring the people who are talking about Taiwan losing sovereignty, or even accusing them in spreading DPP's cognitive warfare, and not taking their warnings seriously. However, the recent report from the United States Congress once again confirms that cognitive warfare from the CCP is indeed real. They are actively investing significant resources and technology to enhance the precision and intensity of their warfare efforts. Therefore, whether you're a friend of Taiwan from anywhere in the world, we should be extremely cautious. Before a real war begins, the battles fought are those of public opinion. There is also psychological warfare and legal warfare as well. If the democratic camp is in a state of chaos, and if democracies can't unite before the common threat, the enemy will quickly perceive it as an opportunity to win the hot war. Therefore, we should be united and proactive in combating the spread of various rumors. When dealing with the CCP, we should also adhere to the strictest standards of scrutiny. And today I've also invited Professor Puma Shen, who is also an MP right now in Taiwan, to talk about China's cognitive warfare and the incident that happened near Kinmen. 非常感谢你愿意接受我这一次的采访，因为我刚好也是在拍关于金门的那种海盗船、三无船。因为您有在您的脸书有说这件事情是重中之重，你可以大概介绍一下为什么金门的那个三无船舶的事情那么的关键？
因为最主要先一个背景就是台湾是520新的总统会就任，那在新的总统就任以前呢，就是属于比较保守的状况，因为要换新任的总统嘛，所以在这个时间点呢，对中国来讲是一个很好发动舆论战或者法律战的时机。也就是说呢，你去制造任何的一些新的常态，或者说你去破坏一些现状，现在的政府因为一定会比较保守嘛，所以这个时候呢，他可以去抓准这个心态去做一些行动。但是中国要做任何的行动，一定需要一个借口。那结果就那么刚好的发生了这一个他们的走私船，然后在金门，就在我们查缉的过程当中呢，产生翻覆嘛，那有伤亡，所以在这个过程当中，他找到借口了。那他一旦找到借口之后呢，其实这件事情的真相对中国一点都不重要，对他们来讲，他们就是要用这个当作借口，然后说，他不承认金门我们的宣布的禁止或限制的水域，然后现在又说他不承认海峡的中线，然后呢，他还甚至登船呢去查验我们的观光船。简单来讲，他就是在扩张他的执法的权利。那这个对我们来讲当然是危险，因为对台湾来讲最惨的状况就是中国可以他们自己解放军或者说他们的公安可以在台湾执法嘛，就他就是一步一步的进逼。我现在接近金门的地方，我现在可以执法了，之后在金门我可以执法，之后我在12海里、24海里我可以执法，就一步一步一直往下嘛。这个我们国防部常讲，这个叫做灰色地带作战。所以呢，他们有这样的一个方式不断的进逼。那这个其实跟真相已经没有那么大的关系，是因为可以看到王毅的发言，他就说这是一个中国，他们说是反制态度。简单来讲呢，他就要把这件事情无限上纲到政治的事件，而不是单纯一个走私渔船的事件。因为不要讲走私渔船，因为他连上面连那个捕鱼的道具、捕鱼的这个器具都没有。这也是为什么呢？他们的媒体还有他们的国台办不断的在 push 我们，叫我们道歉，因为道歉就是一种承认。比如说，这个我承认这是我们的问题等等之类的。那这样的话就有新的法律框架，那这样才是一次成功的法律战。那我是比较怀疑，就是他们在两会嘛，所以呢，接下来呢，中国甚至有可能去通过一些内国法，就是他们自己的法律，然后去承认说，这个部分的法律属于他们啊，等等之类的，或者用各式各样的理由呢，再把那个版分列法再做更细致的规定。我觉得这都是他们有可能往下会做的事情。
目前在台湾立法院有部分的立委也说台湾政府应该要道歉，那您怎么看待台湾好像没有一个比较一致的，就是对中国这样子指控的一个做法？您怎么看待这件事情？
因为台湾的反对党有一些呢，他是抓准了这个机会，他觉得哇太好了，这个是一个事件，他可以借由这个事件来批评政府，所以他们不会去想到说这其实是一个中国对我们打压的事件，他反而把它看作是一个能够批评政府很好的机会，确实可以获得更多的这个人民的支持跟选票，所以就会形成一个很诡异的现象，就是明明我们是接受这个受到敌国的打压，结果呢，我们国内有很多立法委员等等之类或政治人物的论述，结果还去迎合中国的要求。那这个我虽然不会说他们是有恶意或者说他们今天是被渗透等等之类的，但是很标准的也是 useful idiots。
他们现在用一个新的词，我有点想不起来是什么词，撞船，对，关于那个撞船的事情，
这个很有趣。这个是在他们在2月20几号的时候，他们的这个国台办，他们借由记者的发问，故意就是发明了一个名词叫2月14号214恶性撞船事件。那这个名词呢，在过往中国在报道这件事情的时候是完全没有出现的。那大家都知道，中国的官方用语是很精准的，用什么用语都算好的。所以当他故意开始用恶性撞船事件之后呢，台湾突然一堆媒体也开始讲撞船。这是非常有趣的事情，就是跟着应和啦，甚至还有投书，然后也在讲撞船。我想说，哇塞，你怎么可以？因为投书你要先准备啊，你怎么可以那么早的就可以跟国台办用一致的用语？所以当我们台湾呢，在这个内政委员会在排案的时候，也使用了这个用语的时候呢，其实造成我们的行政部门海巡的弟兄其实非常的生气，也非常的难过，是因为你等于是我们还在谈判的时候呢，你直接用敌国定调的用语，然后来定性这一次的事件，所以我觉得这个其实是蛮糟糕的一件事情。显然，大家对中国怎么去用语言来定调啊，用什么样的文字啊，可能是不是很理解。
Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please press like, subscribe and share. This is Stan, I see you in the next one. Bye bye!